It's Friday night here on UCY.TV, and this is Boiler Room Radio. I am your host, Jim Funke. We will be together for the next 60 minutes, and I brought along with me in my back pocket my best buddy, Lance Musser from Virginia. What's happening, Lance?
What's up, brother?
How are you this evening?
Doing great. No complaints here.
You sure?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no
Now's the time
complaints
to
here.
air it, man. Everybody's listening.
No complaints here.
Right,
Nobody wants to
check
hear
it.
it.
You don't want to get backhanded by the old lady anyway.
That's right. She's watching the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Olympics started today. Whoopee!
Mm-hmm.
No explosions yet, but there was a hijacking. Woohoo!
Which was suspiciously absent from RT for a long time.
Yeah, it was. It was actually absent from Fox News for an hour, maybe, after you told me that you heard it somewhere.
Fox News, on Fox News Radio.
Oh, well, see, it was missing off of their website for quite a while, so evidently some jackass from the Ukraine jumped on a Turkish airliner and tried to fly it down to Sochi and threatened he had a bomb and blah, blah, blah. But it's all been squashed, and he's probably being buried underneath the jail right now.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I think it was just a bunch of nothing. Some CIA patsy that, the CIA gave him $1,000 to go crash the front end of the airplane, screaming bloody murder, right? That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah.
It's just so blatant, There's nothing you can't. I mean, once your eyes wide open and you can see through all the fog, you see it. You see it. If it was a real hijacking, if the guy had a real bomb, that plane would be in pieces on the ground right now, burning. Because that's what happens when real hijackers get a hold of real planes with real bombs. They, if it's not bullshit, then it happens.
Yeah, like Lockerbie.
It's not right. Exactly like Lockerbie. If it's not a setup, it usually happens. Sometimes they go hot, though. Sometimes they actually give them the real shit and let them blow stuff up. But
something you don't hear about a whole lot anymore.
Alfred P. Murrah,
hijackings.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, the Murrah building.
Yeah,
Timothy.
Yeah, Tim McVeigh, Patsy. But anyway, we digress. I got a video from a really good friend of mine today on my phone that showed this beautiful black smoker sitting in his garage.
It's actually my dad's garage.
And he was drooling all over the camera. You could see it dripping off the lens and stuff when he was videotaping. But why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about that thing one more time?
One more time. That thing is, what is it? 15 feet long, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond tread, blacked out, steel, wood box, rib box on top. Huge smoker box. Takes two hands to really lift up, open. Fit 2 whole hogs on that if you want.
Yeah, your old ass will be putting some help me up
shocks.
On it.
Yeah, exactly. And then a big old charcoal box on the back for charcoal. So you got smoke, charcoal, heat, and then a turkey fryer on the back.
Yeah, I saw that turkey fryer was cool. It's like you could put a big pot on there, like a big, big 10-gallon something or other, and then a little bottle rack to hold the bottle next to it, and the burner's already mounted and everything. That's sweet.
Yep. Yeah, it's got the mounting rack and everything for the bottle. And what I would do is make my barbecue sauce on it. That's what I'll use it for.
Oh, right on, yeah.
But they advertise it as a fish fryer is how they advertise it.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Yeah, you could do that too. Or deep fried turkey. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful machine.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I know you can't wait to load that wood box up.
Tomorrow. We're going to try it out tomorrow.
Right on.
So I'll take some more pictures.
Cool. I'll be looking forward to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was out celebrating early because I'll delve right into the market part. I was celebrating early because
Smoke'em's Market Minute.
Unemployment dropped even another, 0.1% or something down to 6.6. So I was out celebrating today. I left work a little early.
Yeah, somewhere, somebody in this country added 113,000 jobs. I have no idea where that was added on. I have no idea who was hiring. The majority of everything I saw was people laying off and, companies closing stores and blah, 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 blah. But
I have a
miraculously,
theory. I'll run it by you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Government. How about the government?
Temporary jobs doing something what?
Yeah, exactly. Hiring temporary jobs and as every month the rolls of unemployment get cut off, they're allowed to lower the unemployment rate because now they're not paying the unemployment or something. So
and it is a voter year. It is an election year too. So, the rate's going to keep dropping.
Which is a whole story in itself about those 40 senators that aren't up for re-election, that we'll have to delve into at a different time, but that's very interesting, not an election year. But yeah, the bond market, every single market was in the green today. Every one of them. And it was the employment optimism that lifted the markets.
What a bunch of bullshit. After dropping precipitously yesterday, it's been like a roller coaster all week, man. Up, down, up, down, up. I told you that earlier today in the email. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And all these jackasses on Wall Street are living one day at a time, 24 hours at a time, watching that market ticker. Am I a winner today or am I a loser? Do I get a Maserati or do I drive a Volkswagen?
To tell you how crazy we've gotten, do you remember the term green shoots? You may not. But that's what Ben Bernanke claimed in 2009 that we saw in the economy. And then in 2000, hold on, yeah. And then in 2010, Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner called it recovery summer. That was in 2010.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We're in the recovery. Yeah, as unemployment kept going up and jobs kept shedding.
Mm-hmm. But now, look at where we've come since 2010 with the unemployment in double digits, and now we're at 6.6. Man, it's great. But the reality is fabulous. We remain mired in the weakest recovery since the Great Depression. There's actually a term that we're in, and it's called late degenerate capitalism, and it's a symptom of Dr. Kurt Reichenbacher termed. And that's when a capitalist economy is taken over by the financial markets. Economists no longer regard economic data as a measure of health and wealth of the nation, but for what impact that they might have on the financial markets. And in 2013, they reached a new level of absurdity because if economic numbers came in worse, it was great news for the market because it meant the Federal Reserve was going to keep pumping money in. And now that they've backed off $10 billion, they're still excited because they know that the worse it gets, the more money that the government's going to throw into it.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Dude, I mean, who believes that bullshit?
Anybody that watches mainstream media every night and watches their 401k. If that's all they're doing, that's it. I mean, the sheeple would believe it because if that's all you're doing is watching the evening news and then getting your quarterly statement and going, well, damn, I've gained back everything we lost in 2008, honey.
Sell. That's my advice to you. If you gain back, and most of you have, if you lost in 2008 and you didn't touch anything in your 401k, you gained it all back as of the first of the year.
Yeah, pretty much.
So get your asses out of the market. I say it every week. You hear me say it every week. You're probably getting tired of me saying it, but I'm going to say it up until the day the market crashes. And then I'll say, I told you. But anyway.
All we need is the right major crisis.
Yeah.
And the nations will accept.
Like a hijacking maybe?
And the nations will accept a new world order, a new world currency, et cetera, et cetera. All it takes is the right crisis.
What if they'd let that go hot? What if they'd let that go hot and that plane would have dove into one of the brand new stadiums in the middle of Sochi? What do you think would have happened? Just postulate.
You mean on opening day?
I mean, would that trigger the world cop? We gotta have a world police. We gotta have, look, he hit everybody. He killed from all nations, blah, 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 blah. I could just see it. Jules and I were talking about that earlier.
Syrian Electronic Army is where I'm putting my money. If I was a betting man.
Okay.
Syrian Electronic Army is.
You mean they'll take the blame?
Yes, absolutely. They will be the ones that we blame for any major crisis that happens because we want in Syria. We're building up around it. We've got all of our military there. We've got to go in. We've got to blame it on Syria. That's my money's on Syrian Electronic Army.
Could be.
Hacking Facebook, PayPal, Google.
Facebook was having all kinds of hiccups today too.
I mean, I just see them. I don't see any bombings over in Russia getting us involved in anything. It would have to be against us before the American sheeple would get behind it, just like they did in 01.
There's naval vessels sitting off the coast of Sochi.
Ours, right?
Yes. At a coast.
Yeah. Trying right there to evacuate American citizens.
Should anything happen.
Should anything happen.
Right.
And then really the last one, and I don't know where my story went on it, was about the test run that they're going to be running on the financial market.
Oh, yeah. I saw something about that earlier, too.
Yeah, which is next week. It starts next Friday. And it runs for like 21 days or something like that. But it's they've already got a couple banks online to do with it. And those banks have already warned their customers that they might not be able to withdraw their money out for a couple days.
Starting on like the 15th or something, yeah.
Yeah, which is Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's next Saturday because Valentine's Day next Friday, yeah. Which will be my 20-year anniversary next Valentine's Day.
No shit.
Yeah. I got married on Valentine's Day, so I'd never forget my anniversary.
Ain't you just a man?
I'm a romantic at heart.
Yep. So,
that's it. Yeah, those stories, as we get closer, we got a couple more shows between now and the bank drill that they're going to be doing because they've also got one where they're
Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks, but we've got the
22nd, brother.
22nd, yeah, and which is my Boy Scout day. But then you've got the water contamination exercise going on too. So you got some interesting ones here for the next 2 weeks to look out for because you know how active exercises or training exercises turn into live exercises too many times. There's been a couple of them,
They haven't lately though. And that's kind of making me nervous.
Well,
we've had a lot of major events.
I was thinking the same thing.
All the, the playoff games and the Super Bowl and now the Olympics is opening and nothing's just been quiet, man. It's just been super, super quiet. Except for Facebook getting their asses handed to them for a day or two.
Mm-hmm. PayPal. I mean, they got racked the same time, I think.
Yeah, but that wasn't really very much. They didn't really. I mean, they just got into their server base and left them a couple of notes.
Mm.
So, because I didn't get anything and I'm on PayPal.
Me too. I didn't get anything either. But Syrian Electronic Army, that's where my money's at.
We'll see. We got 10 days to watch, right? The Olympics is 10 days long, yeah?
It is, and if you remember the Illuminati card had that clock on 2:11, so I'll be looking around on 2:11 to see what happens also.
Yep. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open.
All right, let's let Scott have his 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
All right.
Hello, this is Scott, and this is the Hyper Report. Here are the quotes for various items.
His audio sounds funny.
First, Argentine banking system. Right after Argentina's central bank published a resolution limiting bank foreign exchange positions to just 30% of assets, a deadly fire that killed 9 people destroyed a warehouse that stored Argentine archive banking system documents. How did the fire get out of control in a building with multiple fire protections? Of course, with the U.S., who needs a fire when a computer virus would do the same thing?
Right.
Next, let's keep pretending. Greece has been bailed out twice to the amount of 240 billion euros. Hoping to stave off a Greek parliamentary collapse, the EU is prepared to let Greece pay back 30-year commitments in 50 years. They are also willing to commit another 15 billion euros to the debacle. In short, this is how Greece is spelled. F-U-B-A-R. Next, collapse and lies. According to Richard Russell, both the economy and the stock market are definitely bearish as both the government and Fed lies about how happy days are here again.
Lies.
I am just waiting for some official to say, don't panic, because that is when it will be time to panic. Next, IRS and Russians. In the not-too-distant future, Russian political leaders will know everything that the IRS knows about you. Yes, Obama is in negotiations with Moscow to share financial information as part of the 2010 Foreign Account Compliance Act. So, not only will your personal medical data with ObamaRec be made public, but now you can add your entire financial history as well, because it may soon be published on the internet. Gee, is this a coincidence or what? Next, ObamaRec polling. The latest Gallup poll shows that 51% of Americans still oppose the socialist ObamaRec scheme. 37% say that the scheme will make the healthcare system worse. In addition, 64% say Obamacare has had no effect on them, and 19% say that it is hurting them and their family. Well, Congress voted for it, and we are now finding out what it means to vote for a bill without reading it. Next, GMOs not safe. 297 scientists and experts who have signed a joint statement agree that GM foods have not been proven safe and that existing research raises concerns. Yet Monsanto, Kellogg's, General Mills, Nestle, and others still want you to consume this crap. Finally, please prepare now for the escalating economic and social unrest. Good day.
So, he sounds funny today. Yeah, I don't know if he's got some new equipment and doesn't have all the bugs worked out, or if he was on a remote location, or I don't know, but he sounded awful funny today.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read the comments below the video, but I'm sure somebody said something about it. And I think yesterday, Wednesday, the problem that I had was the Syrian Electronic Army missing YouTube.
Or the van down the street.
Or the van down the street. I don't know. One of those two things. But he sounded awful funny that day too. And I had trouble getting the video to load.
Well, I moved into a new neighborhood at the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, before I got Cox, remember that couple days I was without internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked on my phone and there was 4 or 5 of them that I could see on my phone that, and they said, the Johnsons or ABC, XYD. And so I wonder what they're all going to look at when mine pops up, surveillance van number 5, FBI surveillance van number 5, because that's what I named my router.
That's
so anybody in the neighborhood,
Is it locked?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Just checking.
Oh yeah, of course.
The password's password for the FBI, right?
Is it really?
Yeah, there was some story that came out a couple of days ago that said that one of their major programming things, the password was password.
Well, it's the KISS method, isn't it? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, keep it stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. So did you listen to Manarino today? Is he worth giving
I did. It is worth listening to. Yeah, it is worth listening to. Steve Quayle. What's your thought on Steve Quayle?
Steve Quayle's, I mean, he's kind of out there a little bit, kind of AJ-ish, but I listen to him every once in a while.
He has a banker source.
He's really into selling all his own stuff. You know what I mean? He sells silver and all that shit.
Yeah. But he has a banker source, that informed him of the recent rash of those banker suicides. Did you read that?
No.
And he says that his source says that we are not seeing bad bankers being removed. We are witnessing good bankers taken out who are on the verge of revealing big data, big banking details. So the bankers' hits are being done by bad guys to keep men from singing after they flipped during the prosecution investigation, because all these people were up for prosecution. They were being investigated.
Right.
And they started flipping.
Morgan's got all kinds of lawsuits pending.
Well, this guy's source, Steve Quayle's source, said that these people were flipping, that they were breaking down during prosecution.
One of them was a retired guy, wasn't
he? I think so.
They found swinging in his closet.
Yeah, which why would, that guy's got his money, he's set. But again, they were all being interviewed and they were the good guys. They were trying to flip, and that's why they're all dead. So interesting. That'll shut the rest of them up real damn quick.
I got it. The one they pitched off the roof, somebody had to see that.
Security cameras,
Because he went off the 33rd floor. I mean, that's right at the top. And there's cameras everywhere.
The person said the person asked for directions up to the roof. And somebody told them, I guess.
Creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's just my follow-up on that story. I saw it earlier about the 4 bankers. So if we don't see any more, that'll be interesting. Again, it shut them up, if it was true.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go, Greg. Open link. Advertisement. Hey, I had the volume down on that one. Yay! 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Greg Manarino. How are you today? It is Friday, February 7th, 2014. All right, people. So what is going on right now?
I got my voice back.
Well, first of all, the markets are still open as I am doing this blog. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up over 100 points, despite the fact that we got an abysmal jobs number. What is this telling us all? It's very obvious. I mean, it's in our faces, people. I'm going to borrow a line here from a friend of mine. A lot of you out there know who he is. I'm talking about Ernie Veritimus. He's been saying that the bears are impotent. I have to agree with him wholeheartedly here. If this is not further evidence that despite this number, we're getting a rally, well, you got to be blind here. If you're paying attention to the financial channels, I was watching CNBC this morning. Everyone out there is sounding like a bear. You cannot be bearish here. And I've been getting a lot of comments from all of you because I've been saying, I've been a bull, I've been a bull, I've been a bull. You're like, Greg, how can you be a bull here? How can you be adding to your positions here? Well, because it was very obvious to me and other people like Ernie that this isn't just not going to stop anytime soon. Again, I've been going over a very, very important dynamic that's going on here. And this is a fact in my opinion, people, and I've been going over this over and over again, especially lately. Pay attention to this. The Federal Reserve is literally and purposely rattling the emerging markets to drive cash into the U.S. equity market, into the U.S. bond market. Anyone who doesn't see that, got a problem. Is not understanding what's going on here on a global picture. It's that simple. So what do we need to be doing here, people? Very simple. I went over this in the past couple of videos. We need to be aggressively buying here. There's no doubt about it.
Sorry, Greg, don't have no money.
This does not mean, please pay attention, people, because I know I'm going to get some comments about this. This does not mean that this market is going to go up in a linear fashion. We absolutely could see some cash come out early next week. But that doesn't mean that we're going back into any kind of a correction here. This is not happening. All right.
Up and down.
In my opinion, and many people's opinion who understand what's going on here. So I know a lot of people out there, they want to see this market crash. It's not going to crash anytime soon. And understand, people, let me go over another concept. The system is terribly flawed. Okay, we understand that. The game is rigged. There's no doubt about that as well. But when this whole thing decides to come down, okay, it's not going to be in the stock market first. We're going to see problem here with the debt market, the bond market. That's what's going to start. Okay, then when that bubble bursts, every other bubble linked to it, including the stock market, is going to burst too. But we're not near that yet, unfortunately,
watch the
for those of you that are looking forward to this. But it's coming. I mean, really, in my opinion, I'm still sticking to my guns here. In that we have a hyperinflated debt problem that is insurmountable, and they can't stop it. And they're going to continue to fuel this with ferocity until the point where this whole thing comes down. We know this bubble is going to burst. And how do we know that, people? I've gone over this, and I even talk about it in an interview with Greg Hunter recently. Just do your own research and look back on history. Every single economic and financial bubble, without exception, has burst because they rise above a level that can be sustained by any means. So, and unfortunately, the bigger and more monstrous this bubble becomes, the greater the crash and devastation is going to be because of it. It's all about resources, people. This is not just a financial issue here. And I've been going over that since day one. I still cannot stress the importance of becoming your own central bank. Again, that's something else I've been talking about since day one here. You need to be getting away from paper assets.
Yes.
That's the truth. You can trade these markets with success. No doubt about that. But what I do here, and I've been very open about this, when I make profits here in the market, I'm looking to convert that into hard assets, gold and silver, more specifically silver. Okay. I've gone over at length why I think this is a prudent move. There are many people out there who differ with that opinion, and that's fine. Yeah.
Buy some property.
You guys out there who don't believe that, you
buy some heirloom seeds.
Your cash wherever you think you need to do it. All right, I'm just telling you my opinion.
Some guns and ammunition.
Everything I'm talking about is my opinion here.
Solar panels.
On my website, traderschoice.net, there's a link right down here. If you want to check it out, see what I'm holding right now, and the performance of every single one of my positions year to date, it's right there for the world to see. It's free. No passwords, no signups, no anything. And I want to keep it that way. So, again, this is all my personal opinion. So take that with whatever you want. And utilize that information if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. But I'm just telling you the way I see it, people.
That's the way he sees it, people. You heard him. TradersChoice.net. Click on his head. I put the video in the chat. To it. I put the video in the chat for everybody. If you want to go follow what he's doing, and he is out wide open, man. I mean, he don't hide nothing from nobody, and he don't make you pay to go see what he's doing, and all of his stocks are right there in black and white. So you know when he's getting his ass handed to him, and you know when he's making his car payments.
Yeah, actually, yesterday's was really good because he had that listener or follower that told him he was crazy about one of his sell-offs. Mm-hmm. And you and I watched it yesterday, or I did.
The shorts, man.
And that guy took it in the shorts, and he's like, I want to thank you because I now have your money.
Yeah, that was epic, man.
It was pretty funny, and the way he did it, it was like, it was New Yorkish, you know, hey.
Yeah, but he said,
you didn't listen to me, and now I got your money.
Right. He said, I'm not going to name no names, but you know who you are.
That's right. You know who you are. So that was actually a good one yesterday. But, and again, he's been saying the bond market, because that's what the feds are buying into every month is the bond market. So once that stops, it's the house of cards.
Big house of cards.
It'll be interesting.
All right. So we're done with all of our market shite. Mm-hmm. And I imagine everybody's bored to death. And I don't know how many listeners I've lost so far. But the second half hour, let's pump things up a little bit. What have you got laying on your plate? It's Friday night, so make it interesting, man.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm just watching. I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. We haven't had anything. I don't have anything on my plate right now. I'm just sitting back waiting to see what's going to happen.
You don't have anything on the hijacking? You're the one that told me about it.
Oh, it's very, very limited. On what you're even able to find out on the hijacking. The blurb that we covered on it was, just about everything that there was. It was, somebody said that they had a bomb. They wanted them to divert to Sochi and they didn't. And I think it was Turkish F-16s that actually
scrambled two of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, that scrambled and grounded the plane real quick.
And as soon as it hit the ground, security guards beat his ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Cause he couldn't even get in the cockpit door, and they said that they had him kind of corralled or whatever in a corner and wouldn't let him move. And then when the plane stopped rolling, on came the security guards and thump, thump, thump. And he's in a jail of being questioned. Mm-hmm. You speak. Oh, well, let's see what else we got then. I'm going to go over here and touch on some headlines. Europe is getting pounded by more storms.
Yeah, the storms right now, it's really, really, really bad. There is, what did I just see? Hold on.
55,000 homes in France are without power. I think there's actually 1 million homes in the United States that don't have power right now because of the shit that's going up through the Northeast right now.
I believe you're right.
I'm not sure on that. I thought I saw a little blurb on that on Facebook or something.
fact, I know where I just saw that. Hold on one second, because it's a very...
the Syrian army retook most of Aleppo.
Slovenia is
yeah.
buried under 4 inches of black ice right now, leaving 100 million people without power. And Europe...
Yeah, didn't I pass you that video yesterday? Or I know I passed it out on Facebook and tweeted it. That guy that was driving back to his house, or trying to drive back to his house, and the trees were just smashed over the roads and everything was covered in ice. And oh my God, it was just unbelievable.
There's a buoy that measures the waves out in the Atlantic that were heading towards Great Britain, and one of them was 75 feet tall. The old record was 66 feet tall during a storm. I'm sure a nuclear bomb could create a bigger one. But in this Slovenia one where the ice, 4 inches of black ice, I mean, I've seen an inch of ice when you have an ice storm. You got trees down off of an inch. There's big, those big power, the frames with the power lines, transmission lines.
Yep.
They're crumpled. I mean, they're snapped in half because of the weight on them.
Oh yeah.
This is
ice is
some of the weirdest weather we've seen. Freaky weather.
Mm-hmm. Another 5-1 hit off the coast of Fukushima today. 34 kilometers off the coast of Naimi City in Fukushima Prefecture. According to the United States Geological Survey, the quake occurred at 2:18 a.m. local time Saturday at a depth of 63 kilometers. That's pretty deep. Fukushima Prefecture was the site of the disastrous quake, blah, blah, blah. We all know. Yeah, the weather's really freaky.
And we're getting something for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Play this.
Oh, gonna drop me something. All right.
Yes. I think you listened to this earlier.
Oh, yeah. This has been played so many times, but it's good. It's a good one. This is from some TV series that used to be on TV, but it's not anymore. It's Jeff Daniels.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
And this is an old clip, but
diversity,
still relevant.
Opportunity.
Damn, is it right on the money?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that
way. Well, why is America
not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer.
You're saying
yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
And everybody's looking at him with a straight face.
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
It was from a show called Newsroom. That was Jeff Daniels. Everybody knows. I'm sure they've seen the clip several times.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Excellent. Excellent. And that was from years ago. I think back in 2009, 2010, something like that. It's been floating around the interweb for a long, long time.
I think we got a new number one. I think obesity. I think we caught up. We took over number one since that it was aired. So,
yeah. But we still got the most people in prison per capita. Mm-hmm. You know, by the time a young black gentleman in this country reaches the age of 18, 70% of them have seen the inside of a jail cell or squad car. 70%. Well, that's just a ridiculous figure.
When you mandate that they have to stay 70 or 90% filled, occupied, you know, what are you going to do?
And, you know, just to tear apart that little clip that we just listened to, yeah, we used to be the greatest country on the planet, but we were still under control, and it was still part of the game. And it was all to make this what it is for them to take over, you know, because they've been perpetrating this fraud on us for well over 100 years. And it sickens me when I think about it. How far we could have gotten had we not let them keep control.
The downfall was Nikola Tesla. Personally, that's always been my belief, is that if he would have been able to release the free energy, our world would be much different than it is right now. Not as much greed. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely. But, well, the greed still would have been there. You know,
different forms. I mean, you wouldn't have big oil destroying the planet.
No, it would have been something else. They would have come up with something else. There would have still been wars. Probably. There would have still been bombs, and you know what I mean. But yeah, and he's so absent from anything you read. Yeah, from anything you read until you start digging into history. I mean, you're not going to find him unless you're taking physics or, you know what I mean, trying to become a rocket scientist or some, you know.
Oh, there's a paragraph about him in high school, you know, books.
Just as him and Edison went at it, you know, I mean, that's basically all it is. They talk about Edison electrocuting the elephant and, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen a textbook in so long I can't even tell you. But this country could have been, this whole planet could have been so much different if we hadn't let these assholes take control and keep control. You know, you got to wonder
you got to go all the way back to our founding of our nation, which was founded by Freemasons, a secret society with a secret agenda. So how far would you have to go back, set your time machine to go back to rewrite the no control part? It was established
from the inception,
right from its inception. It was designed this way with control, Freemasons, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and it's been passed down for millennia, you know, from the Greeks to the Romans to the, you know, whoever. It just kept, you know, the same freaking bloodlines keep in control, you know, whether it's through government or religion or whatever, you know, threat of war, whatever. That's just the way it goes, you know. But one of these days money won't matter, and then they won't matter.
I'm waiting. I wish it'd hurry up.
Yeah, me too. Wasn't it the whole basis of Star Trek? Nobody had money there. You just got what you needed.
Right.
And you did your thing. And it was for the collective. Even though they were against the Borg, I mean, basically Star Trek was still a collective. Everybody on that ship was working for the ship because the ship kept them alive.
Well, you talk about money, and I'll read this. Indian Chief Two Eagles was asked by a white U.S. government official. You have observed the white man for 90 years. You've seen his wars and his technological advances. You've seen his progress and the damage he's done. The chief nodded in agreement. The official continued, considering all these events, in your opinion, where did the white man go wrong? The chief stared at the government official and replied, when white men find land, Indians run in it. No taxes, no debt, plenty buffalo, plenty beaver, clean water. Women did all the work, medicine man free. Indian men spend all day hunting and fishing, all night having sex. Then the chief leaned back and smiled. Only white man dumb enough to think he can improve a system like that.
That's the truth.
Spoken truth. And that's a photo out of a newspaper, an old newspaper.
Yep. It's a clip. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was before money. I mean, they traded. So it'll get back to that one day. Cyclical. I mean, there's proof that there's been civilized nations before that have been wiped out and started over.
They asked another Indian chief, I don't know what tribe he was from and I don't know what his name was, but they said they asked him to describe the white race, the white man. Describe the white man to me. And he said something like, and I'm just paraphrasing now, he said something like, white man is the only human that can cut a foot off the top of a blanket, sew it on the bottom, and think you got a longer blanket.
I remember reading that.
That kind of describes us pretty well. I mean, we are just thick stupid.
The majority. I mean, there's
to think you can control everything that you come across. To think that you're the be all end all of the human existence. Evolution's going to prove us wrong. I'm waiting for the third strand.
It's a victim of its own greed, deception, power, and hatred.
Exactly.
No doubt.
I saw another meme that was just fantastic. What was it? Okay. Buddha wasn't a Buddhist.
Yep.
Jesus wasn't a Christian. And there was one other one. Oh man, I can't think of what the other one was. But they were, what it meant was they were teachers of love. And that's all they were. Buddha taught love. Jesus Christ taught love if you listen to the scripture. You don't read too much into it. That's what they were trying to teach everybody was love. That's the key to everything, is to live in love, not to live in fear. Because there's only two states of consciousness that the human mind can be in, and that's fear and love. Choose to live in love. Don't fear everything that you see or hear or feel. Wake up every day with a smile. Find a reason to get out of bed. And just live in love. Because when you go the other direction, it just makes everything so shitty. If you wake up in a bad mood, you can pretty much guarantee your whole day is going to go downhill from there. As soon as your feet hit the floor. If you wake up living in love, wake up with a smile on your face, looking forward to the next thing that happens that day, making the best out of everything that you come across, doing tiny little things for people you got no idea who they are, just giving them a nod and a wink and a smile, could change their whole day. Give that a shot for a week or so. See what happens. See how much comes back to you. Because it's karma. Spreading good. Don't you get it back tenfold?
Try every day. I mean, I try every day. Give somebody a third eye kiss. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Third eye kiss.
And look for angel numbers. I don't know how many of you people are into numerology or anything like that, but angel numbers is a series of the same number, like 1111, 111.
Remember I had that conversation with you?
Yeah. 444, 333, 222.
But I see the 1-1 combination in inordinate amount of times, what I think.
Yeah, 1111 is the angel numbers. Those are angel numbers.
I pulled into the driveway. I was driving my wife's car, and we bought her an Ultima last year or something. And I looked down because the mileage pops up as you turn off the car. It was 11,111 miles. Exactly. I took a picture of it.
1,111 miles. Nice.
I'm like, I see these double ones everywhere. And I even mentioned it to you. And then 2 days later, the odometer rolls up 11111.
Nice. That's nice, man. That means people are looking for you. You know, people out there, they're watching for you. They're watching down on you. You got some extra help, a little extra energy from the ether.
Mm-hmm.
And things roll good your way. I mean, when you do good for other people, you're going to get it back. There's just no doubt about it. You're going to get it back. You might not know it. You might not realize it when it happens, but you'll figure it out later on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And everything happens for a reason, good or bad. Same description. You might not know it at the time, but everything happens for a reason. You missed that plane. There was a reason you didn't get on that plane.
Yeah, I've always said that too. When somebody's down about something, and, you know, I always try to cheer up friends and get them to look at positive stuff too. But, you know, they're mad about something. And I said,
damn it, I couldn't get that car. I wanted that car so bad, man. I wanted that car. Dude, that car was going to blow up on you.
Exactly. You know, man, you could have got that and lost. You know, you never know. That bus, you know, could have done something. I said, hey, everything happens for a reason. If you missed it, it was meant to be. Just deal with it and let's reevaluate.
Find the good in the bad. Try to find the good in the bad. No matter what's happening bad, try to find some good in it.
And it'd be hard telling.
It's always there.
Well, it'd be hard telling that, you know, we always talk about doom and gloom on the radio all the time with the financial market and everything.
It's hard not to, man.
It is hard not to, but still when you're, you know, with your fellow man, I mean, we're all in it together. So yeah, we're trying to spread the truth and wake people up, but you know, we still want to be good to our fellow man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we always try to leave the show on a positive note. You know, we get down to the last 2 or 3 minutes and, you know, we try to throw it out there. Peace and love. You know, that's what it's all about. I think Jules had 2 other words. It's about love and it's about respect. I think those were the 2.
It is. And my personal belief is integrity. With integrity is what you have when nobody's looking. Man. Well, integrity is what you have when nobody's looking. Right. I've always said that. And a lack of integrity has really caused a whole lot of downfall of society because people think, oh, nobody's watching me. I'll go ahead and do this. But, you know, put yourself in hey, if my mom was sitting right next to me, would I do this?
Integrity, my dad used to always tell me, and it breaks down to this for one simple thing. Integrity breaks down to this. Locks only keep out an honest person. You get that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a shit how much you spend on that padlock. I don't give a shit how much you spend on your steel door. If somebody wants in your place, they're going to get in your place. A lock will only keep out an honest person.
I posted a meme on it the other day that showed a rich mansion up on the hill and then a shanty in the mountain and then the grave right below them. And the grave looked identical. You know, the house that they lived in didn't, but the grave did.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No matter how much you got in life, that hole's the same size. Mm-hmm. That 6-foot hole is a 6-foot hole. And you can't take that big ass house with you and that big wad of cash you got in your wallet and all those credit cards and that fancy Rolex. Well, you might be able to take the Rolex, but I doubt it. It ain't going to make it past the mortician.
I want to be like the guy that was buried on his Harley.
Oh man, was that epic or what? Big Lexan box. They had him strapped to it, and they said it took him like 12 hours to get him set up on there and whatever. You know, they had to make steel rods to get him to hold the handlebars.
Yeah, for anybody that hadn't seen the story, a guy died, and I guess he was a lifelong Harley rider, and they buried him in his Harley in a hole in a glass box like the Pope Mobile was enclosed in. It looked like the Pope Mobile.
Sitting on his Harley.
Yep.
And they're going to bury him and the hole was huge. He had to buy 3 extra plots next to his wife to fit that crate. And it was custom built by his kids or something. And he's had it sitting at his house for years. He'd bring people by and show it to him. Hey, look, there's my coffin. He got creeped out by it, and that was a really good-looking bike that they buried.
It was, wasn't it?
Oh, my God, man. Nice big old dresser with a windshield and leather bags and baby blue with white on the tank. It was pretty. Going in a hole.
Yep, going in a hole. A couple other ones that were on the whole part. Like, guy said, my biggest fear of dying is my wife will sell my guns for what I told her I paid for them. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's a no-getter.
But the best one I've seen was last year or 2 years ago. A Pittsburgh Steelers fan died, and at his wake, they had him sitting in his recliner, and there was about 100 pieces of Pittsburgh Steelers paraphernalia in the funeral parlor.
Right.
And he was sitting in his rocking chair watching the Pittsburgh game. They had it on a Sunday, and the game was on.
Nice.
True fan.
Yeah. But you got to wonder about the families, you know.
Hey, if that was your last dying wish, that's probably what he wanted.
Right.
You know, I know I want to be cremated and put into the 18th hole at my favorite golf course, the water hole.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They're gonna let you get dumped in the cup. You know they change the whole location all the time.
Nope. No, in the water hole, not in the
in the drink
into the lake.
I got you.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to do that, but you know.
Fuck them.
Yep. Yeah, you just got to go out and do it.
Yep. One of your friends will get drunk enough to make it happen.
Oh yeah. Well, my buddy that died, I kept some of his ashes separated out when we gave him back to his parents.
Yep.
And we planted them in the we buy a live Christmas tree every year.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents, we planted it in their front yard, and I poured his ashes into the Christmas tree.
Cool.
This just a month ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
So his soul's hopefully floating around me, helping me out too.
I hope that they find me as a pile of dust sitting in the leather chair in front of my fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't know, a few weeks after somebody's never heard from me again. We ain't seen the creepy old dude living up the road for a minute. Let's go check on him. And there I am, stone cold dead, little dehydrated.
Yeah, well, I hope our souls meet up in the next containers. That would. I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh, definitely.
And I said, man, I hope my soul meets up with Jimmy.
We've met before somewhere.
Oh yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. This has been a pretty wild ride so far. The 45 years that I've been on this planet. This time around, because I know that this is not my first time around. I can feel it. I've done some of the things before. I've been some of the places before. You know, the deja vu shit grabs you every once in a while, and you just can't shake it. You know, you're like, damn, I've been here before. And it's someplace I'd never been before, you know what I mean, in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've been around a couple times on this block. Hopefully I got it right this time, because I want that third strand.
I think I was a dancer in a previous life, because I can't dance for nothing, but I feel like I got rhythm. and I want to dance, but I'm like a lame. So I feel like I must have been a dancer in another life. And I'm like, and the dancing just won't come out of me. And it just makes me mad, you know?
That reminds me of that scene from The Jerk where he's laying in the bed.
Oh my God.
Feet are going together. Yeah. I got it, Mama. I got it. Well, whatever you got, don't bring it home.
I was born a poor black child.
That's right. That was, oh my God.
I watched that movie about 100 times. Octograb. Shithead.
He hates these cans. That was too funny, man. That was I love Steve Martin. To this day, I love Steve Martin. He's just,
me too.
Yeah. I used to have some of his albums, man, and I just play them over and over and over and over.
It's hard to beat King Tut.
Yep. And he was it for a minute. You know, I mean, everything was Steve Martin. That's all you'd see was him in that white suit. Yeah, he was all over Saturday Night Live all the time.
The Arrow.
Yep, doing stand up everywhere. He had HBO specials, and yeah, he was the king of comedy for a minute. Never got to see him live though. I wished I would have got to see him live. I'll bet he was super, super funny live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Oh man. Okay. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes. So peace and love. We know that's going out to everybody. We already talked about that tonight. What else you want to leave everybody with this time?
Just make somebody smile. I mean, it's, there's a lady that I see every day at a convenience store or every other day, and she's always got a frown on her face and always grumpy. And I said to her a couple weeks ago, I said, I see your usual cheery self this morning. And from that moment on, the woman smiles and laughs every time I come in.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Make somebody smile.
Yeah, make a new friend. Go make a new friend. You know? Somebody that you would never think of talking to. Reach out to them. Say, hey, how's it going? I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. We'll go get a sandwich for lunch. I don't ever get to talk to you. Let's talk for a little bit. Try it. See what happens. New people that cross your path, sometimes they can give you more than you'll ever be able to give back to them. And it's worth it in the end. You'll always learn something. Everything happens for a reason. Don't ever forget that. UCY.TV, everybody.
Peace and
we'll
love.
See you tomorrow night for After the Last Cup. We'll be live again. Stay tuned for Turbo. He's next. Anti-Media Radio. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Lance.